kitchen. Happy New Year. Here we are in another year, and let's pray that this year will be better than last year. So anyway, here I'm back to cooking. So my grandkids are gonna come this weekend, and they love what they call muffins. But what it is, or what I made, is bolinhos de arroz, rice cakes. These cakes, I remember when we were growing up, we used to go to the store, and there was always these little cakes, and we would ask my mom, can we have one, can we have? So she would buy maybe one and split it and divide it by all of us. So you only get to try a little bit of it. So when I see those cakes, those little rice cakes, it takes me right back to my childhood when, you know, here we couldn't have a full one because my mom couldn't afford it. And now we have the opportunity and we can't have it. But anyway, so I've made it before. My grandkids love it. So they want Gigi's cupcakes that they call, or muffins. They call them muffins. So that's what I'm gonna do. So anyway, in here I have 6 tablespoons of butter, soft butter. I have zest of a lemon and the juice. I have baking powder, baking soda, and salt in here. And then I have 2 cups of rice flour and 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 cup of sugar, 3 eggs. I'm going to use 2 whole eggs and 1 egg yolk, and 1 cup of milk. So we're going to start by mixing the butter with the sugar and cream all this together real good until it's really really creamy. You want your butter soft because you want it to mix with the sugar real good. And then in here I'm going to crack my eggs. So I'm going to have 2 whole eggs and 1 egg egg yolk. So anyway, so I love making these things because it just takes me right back to when we were kids. So I made it once and my grandkids, they loved it. So okay, I'm gonna add my eggs so this all starts creaming until they're like a fluffy mixture. I'm going to add my baking powder, baking soda to my flour, and I'm going to mix all this. And it doesn't, I mean, any kind of rice flour will work, not any special kinds of rice flour. I was going to make these around Christmas time, but I didn't have a chance. So in here, I'm using the large muffin tins. These are the extra large muffins. And these are Christmas little cups. I try to find different ones, but I had only the Christmas ones. So these are little, I bought these, and these are perfect for these bolinhos de arroz. But if you don't have this, you put one of those muffin lining, and then you can add parchment paper around it so it has enough space for the bolinhos to rise, because that's what it is. So, but I found those, so I figured, well, why not use it? So that's what I do. Okay, and I'm gonna mix lemon and the lemon juice with the milk. Don't be alarmed if you see it curling, curly, that's fine. That's how you make buttermilk. Okay, I'm gonna beat this real good, and then I'll come back. Okay, my eggs, you want kind of this light color, pale yellow. So I'm gonna now alternate the flour with the milk. And we're gonna add it in slowly. So we started with the flour. I add about 2 of these scoops of flour and then add the milk. And we wanna do this about 3 times. When you see it's all combined, add more flour, more milk, kind of scrape this, make sure it's all mixed in there. Add the rest of the milk and the rest of the flour. You know, it's funny is that we used to see this in the grocery store when we were kids, but then as we got older, I don't remember seeing this. So I didn't have one for years. And then I found the recipe and I made it. And I've been making it ever since. Okay, so now I'm gonna mix this with a spatula to make sure all the flour is incorporated into the wet ingredients. And then when you add it into the forms, don't add it all the way. I've made that mistake and it went all over the place. I have an ice cream scoop. This is a big ice cream scoop, but you know, if you have a smaller one, it works better. But the ones I have, they're too small. So I'm gonna barely fill up the ice cream scoop. Probably should have sprayed this. I'm gonna spray the little containers just to make sure it comes out. There's no worse thing. You make something and then it doesn't come out. And I was gonna make, like I said, I was gonna make these for Christmas. That's why I had these little perfect little cups, because I figure, oh, this is gonna be perfect. But I didn't have a chance. So my grandkids are coming this weekend, so I'll make it for them. They're very particular of certain things, but they like these because they think it's cupcakes. I like to call them muffins. Yeah, I remember as a kid going to the store with my mom. You know, in those days, there was a person behind the counter and you asked them what you wanted and they brought it to you. So that's what it was in those days. It was not like we go now. Drive around, you know, go and pick up your own stuff. And I figured this would give me probably about 10, and I think it's gonna be perfect. Scrape everything out of that bowl. I have my oven preheated at 350, and this should take about maybe 20 minutes to bake. Can't waste nothing of this. Here it is, my blanche d'arroz. It gave me 10, which I thought that's what it was gonna give me. So now I have granulated sugar, and you're gonna sprinkle it very generously on top, because that was the crunchy part on top of the rice cakes. I remember years that people say, oh, nobody can make rice, bolinhos d'arroz. Nobody knows how to make it. Nobody has a recipe. So I was so happy when I found the recipe some years ago. And this was about 2 tablespoons of sugar. So it's enough for all these. How they look. Okay, friends, here's meus bolinhos d'arroz. They look identical what I remembered. They're still so hot. I just took them out of the oven. But here it is, a memory that I remember. I mean, I must have been 5, 6 years old when I remembered this, these bolinhos. And what it was is you look and they had a glass and you see all these in the other side and you want it as a kid, of course. But I remember people would say, oh, they're very hot. And maybe this is not the original recipe. But you know what? They look alike. They taste what I remembered. And it fulfilled that craving. Recipes are meant to be broken. People say, oh, it's not the original recipe. They taste different. Not for me. So here it is. Bolinhos d'arroz, or rice cakes that I remember as a child eating. So you give a try to this recipe. These little cups made very easy to make this. So I'm sure if you can go to a bakery store, you would be able to find these little cups, and they look beautiful, to make for a party or for a birthday, for grandkids. So my grandkids are gonna love this. So I always try to make something different for them, something that they've seen me make, so they can try different things. Show you how easy it is to pull these apart. Look, you just peel them, and look, they look identical to what a bolinho d'arroz is supposed to be. Delicious. Got a hint of lemon. It is perfect. It is bolinhos d'arroz. I want to thank all of you for all your comments, especially from the last video regarding my tia Fatima that passed away with the persimmon jam. Thank you very much for all the condolences, all your heartwarming, comments. So I appreciate very much. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. And leave me a comment if you ever eaten these, if this is part of your childhood memory. And until next time, let's get cooking. Have a good day.